Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, a few topics, and the main topic, actually, the umbrella topic, has to do with Poland. Poland, as you know, is a country in Central Eastern European with about 40 some million people, has aspirations to be the new power in Europe militarily. I think is America's Trojan horse in Europe, by the way, and they would be activated possibly to fight the Russians. Not because it's in their interest, but they follow orders, like many others, Romanians and others, could be activated to do the same thing. So Poland institutes a law. The president actually tries to push a law that would ban some free speech, that is denying some historical events from, for instance, denying the Holocaust in Europe. There are some countries that actually, if you do that, and that is if you say, well, I have some questions about that for them is denying it. Or you say maybe it was not 6 million, maybe it was 20 million who died, it's still denying it. Even if you make it bigger, the number, it's still because you don't agree with the official dogma. So it seems like the Poles are doing the same thing with the Bandera, not Antonio Banderas, but Stepan Bandera, and with the Volyn massacre. Then the Hungarians ban Ukrainians' media. Why? Because the Ukrainians banned Hungarian media operating in Ukraine because free speech. My friends, it seems like the words are, how should I put it, more dangerous than weapons. There's the biggest weapon. The truth is the biggest weapon. When you have criminals, obviously, they want to shut you down. Don't expose them. Don't tell them. Don't say anything about it. But that's another, how do you call that? How do you call it? The one that has the, like this, I can't remember the name of that insect. Like this one, green, sometimes there are terms, maybe it's gonna land on me. So, Kalugarica, it's in Romanian. I can't remember what's the name in English. What the fuck is his name? It's her husband, the boy. After they okay. So what's going on here? So it seems like speech is more dangerous than weapons. That's when you have criminals who would like you to keep your mouth shut. Then the Hungarians, and this is very, very strange, the Hungarians advise the Ukrainians to give some territory, some exchange, some territory for peace. And they give the Hungarians give the example of Versailles. Trianon, after the First World War, the Hungarians lost a big chunk of their Austria-Hungary empire. And they're very upset about it, obviously, still upset. It's not that they don't want to bring it back. They want to bring it back, Transylvania. They want to bring back Zakarpattia from Ukraine, or Transylvania from Romania. With all the surrounding countries except Austria, they have grievances about getting the territories back. And there's a response from the Ukrainians saying, no, how about you exchange territory? We will not do that. So it's blocking Ukrainian media. The other guys block the other guy's media. And I'm going to show you the big boys. Oh, it flew away. The big boys in Poland need protection. They're so strong that they need the Dutch, that little country with about 15 million people, small country, to come and protect Poland with 40 some million people, bigger country, big, with Patriot systems. And the Patriot systems will shoot down the invasive Russian drones. But I suspect those Patriot systems will shoot over Ukraine, making it actually a no-flight zone over Ukraine. And then when the Russians will say, hey, what did you do here? The guys in Poland will say, oh, it wasn't us. We didn't do it. We didn't do anything. We did it over the Polish territory, not over Ukraine's territory. The Russians will say no, the other guys say yes, or the other way around, and we're gonna have a little war, my friends. All right, so these are some articles that I want to discuss, including the economic freedom of Ukraine. Ukraine's got right now $192.7 billion debt, and it climbs more than that. It got $6 billion extra debt in 1 month. So you calculate that in 12 months, you got to about what? 72, 73 billion dollars added to 192. Good job, man. Good job. You're doing a great job. And I'm going to show you the army of Ukraine. And that is how LGBT soldiers shape Ukraine's defense and future. They're going to have a future, man. They're going to have a future. Without them, we cannot live. We can no. That's and I'm not kidding. Right here. Right here. New voice of Ukraine. There you have him. There you freaking have him, man. Let me give you the... Oh, there you go. Oh, aren't you sweet? There you go. So these guys are going to fight the Russians. All right, let's go to the beginning, the first article. And that has to do with... let me go back here. Ukraine's foreign ministry responds to Hungarian officials suggesting Ukraine give up territory for peace. Georgi Tichki, spokesperson for Ukraine's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, has said Ukraine does not need advice from Hungarian officials on exchanging territory or sovereignty. And earlier, Levente Magyar, Hungary's deputy foreign minister, referenced how Hungary has given 2/3 of its territory after World War I for the sake of peace. You didn't do it for the sake of peace. You were ordered. You were done. You didn't say, yeah, we're going to accept. Just have peace. No, you couldn't do anything else. The nations that were under your rule, Austria-Hungary, like Romanians, Serbs, and others, those guys did not want to fight for you. They didn't want to fight for you, and you knew that. So here it is. During his speech, he hinted that Ukraine should not give up 1/5 of its territory, adding that peace is something painful. Ukraine should now give up 1/5 of its territory. And Ukrainian says Hungary may trade its land or sovereignty if it wants. Ukraine does not, and advice is not welcome. Well, Ukraine must give back territories to Poland, for instance, Lviv, Lutsk. They have to give Zaporozhia, Zakarpattia, maybe to Hungary. They should give Northern Bukovina, Bessarabia, that is Moldova, to Romania. They have give half of half of Ukraine to Russia. They can probably give some to Belarus, because Ukraine, you know what Ukraine means? At the margin, at the edge, that means, what are you talking about? Anyway, let's go to the next. Next article comes from New Voice of Ukraine. Polish president submits Stop Bandera, end quote, bill to Sejm. So this bill that Polish president with big balls, but is owned by the Dutch, says this. He submitted to Sejm a draft bill introducing criminal liability for the, and I'm quoting, propaganda of Bandera ideology and Volyn tragedy denial. So if you go to Poland and say, no, man, the Volyn tragedy, genocide, however you want to call it, it did not occur like that. You could be liable to be criminally charged. Like you go to Germany or France, I think there's some countries that if you say, no, man, I don't think that thing, the Holocaust, really occurred, that these guys make us... Remember, you can say all kinds of things about historical events. You can say tomorrow Hitler did not exist, and they will not charge you with anything. They will say, it's just crazy. But if you say, I think it was not 6 million, it was, 25 million, they will still charge you, even though you make it bigger for them. Why? Survivors, Holocaust survivors. Okay, so these guys, what do? It says, Stepan Bandera was a Ukrainian far-right leader of the radical militant faction of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, the OUN. This is what the Ukrainian, because this is a Ukrainian article. So it's Ukrainian media, New Voice of Ukraine. So obviously they give that spin. All right, Spandera. The bill proposes amendments to the laws on the Institute of National Remembrance. Remembrance of what? Commission for the prosecution of crimes against the Polish nation, as well as to criminal code. All right. So he says, the president's office alleged that the goal is to counter what it calls, and I'm quoting, false claims about crimes committed by members of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, OUN, and the Ukrainian Insurgency Army, UPA. So you cannot say it. That if you do it, they're gonna go to 5 years in prison. I disagree with that. I can call whomever I want. If I'm an imbecile, I'm an imbecile. But you charge me for being an imbecile? And besides, history, as they say, is not a living science. It's not a dead science. It's a living science. That's one of the main points historians are making. Why? Because it's not like, okay, the Second World War, we know everything, and this is what happened. You always find more, and you always alter certain conclusions about certain operations based on new findings. That's why you can say, you know what, right now we say that this is it. And if you deny that, you go to prison. But after a year, you find out something else and say, well, actually, no, it's not like that. It was not like that, so we change it. Unless you stay with the dogma and you ignore everything else, you don't allow it in the public sphere of debate, and then you make it illegal. This is what these guys are doing it. Now remember, they might do it now on Volin or on Bandera. They did it on the Nazis, they did it on the communists. Tomorrow they can do it, I don't know, people with big dicks. Well, if you have it, you go to prison. Why? Because the other guys feel intimidated or feel, I don't know, how do you call it, feel disenfranchised or whatever, man. Once you open this door, you're done. Poland is free to do whatever they want to do. I think is wrong. I think it's wrong to, by law, deny the expression of some views, as imbecilic they can be in the past. Otherwise, you would ban religion. You would ban Christianity today. You would ban Judaism today. You want to know why? Why don't you look back in history and find out how many crimes were committed and so on? But they don't do that. Why? You're either just, you want to protect. We don't want that to happen again, man. That's why we protect you. Those guys kill more people than everybody else. What are they talking about? Not even the communists with what? 120 million people, according to these guys, the victims of communism in China and everywhere else, do not compare with 2,000, or if you want to go with the Judaism, I don't know, 3,000 years, man, of history. I want you to read my books. Go on Amazon and find them. God's Nature. I got 2 of them. Go and buy them and read over there from the Old Testament. You're going to find out genocide in the name of, at the orders of the good, forgiving Father in the sky. Let's go to the next one. Hungary begins blocking Ukrainian news website following government ban. And this is according to Ukrainska Pravda, and obviously it was banned too. So Hungarian internet providers have started restricting access to Ukrainian media outlets that were recently banned by the Hungarian government. The European Union banned Russian media in there. They don't like, it's propaganda. But Fox News and these guys are not propaganda. I want you to go and check the definition of propaganda and find out if Fox News, CNN, BBC, Deutsche Welle, Associated Press, which one, Reuters. Tell me if these guys are not engaged in propaganda. They're all engaged in propaganda. All of them. You either let them all, or you don't let anybody. If you just selectively let some, it's more even than allowing all. Okay? But you can't compete. That's the problem nowadays. According to European Pravda, as of the morning of 30th September, not all of the banned websites have been blocked yet, although internet providers appear to be working from the same list of outlets. Got it? All right, there you have it, my friends. And it says here, European Pravda was among the first websites to be inaccessible. However, most of the other banned Ukrainian news sites remained available for now. For instance, readers have reported that Ukrainska Pravda, the ones I'm reading from, is still accessible. In the mid-September, Ukraine banned several foreign publications, including Hungary's Origo and Democrat. Demokrata, for spreading Russian propaganda. But NATO propaganda is okay because NATO is good, Russia is bad. On 29th of September, the Hungarian government announced a retaliatory ban on a number of Ukrainian news portals. You got it? Next one. Ukraine responds to ban on Ukrainian media in Hungary. You know what the answer is? Man, we didn't ban Ukraine. You didn't ban Hungarian. We banned Russian propaganda through those Hungarian outlets. That's what we did for freedom of speech. But we don't like the propaganda coming from Russia via Ukraine. But we like, I don't know, the propaganda coming from Voice of America or Free Europe, Radio Free Europe, coming from the, I don't know, State Department and CIA from America. We like that propaganda. Why? Because they are our bosses, our bosses. So you're either just or you're not just. It's not, sometimes I am, sometimes I don't. Doesn't qualify to me, at least. And let me show you these big boys from Poland with big balls, how strong they are. They need the Dutch. Remember, Netherlands, I think it has about 16 or 14 million people. Small, shitty country. Shitty, why? If you take the levees out, the sea, the ocean will invade the Netherlands. And Netherlands has an immigration policy that will change its Dutch structure, society forever. They're already done, like many others. What's that? Was a bird? Or what was that? All right. So Patriot and other air defense systems from Netherlands to start protecting Polish skies in December. You got it? So it says, starting in December, the Netherlands will also deploy Patriot and NASAMS systems and anti-drone capabilities to further strengthen air defense and protect the key logistic hubs that are important for supporting Ukraine. The communique recalls that Dutch F-35s have been on duty in Poland from 1 September to 1 December and have already seen their first combat use when they shot down Russian drones on the night of 9th of 10 September. It was not the Poles. The Poles with balls, they needed the Dutch to protect them. If you have foreign military operating on your territory, you are under occupation. Clear. If you don't have your military defending the Dutch airspace or anything else with your military, but only they can do it, you are a protectorate. That's what you are. Poland is a protectorate. Yeah, I know you're tough and Polsche, right, Alex? Yeah, my friend. I'm not going to give you more. So there you go. What do you want? You are a protectorate. And the Dutch? You should protect the Dutch from whomever, not the Dutch protect you. Yeah, that's the way it is, my friends. Why? Because the United States of America has troops all over Europe. But Europe has no troops in America. What does it tell you? Who owns you? Or AC/DC. Who made who? Who made you? Thank you very much for being with me again today, my friends. I'm going to go out, upload this video. This is the third one for today. Probably make another one later at the river with salmon spawning over there. Today is the last day of fishing here in the area. Nevertheless, I will probably make another video there. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you later.